Hello, world, and welcome to a Europe in Ruins development update. I am your host and community manager for Europe in Ruins, Illegal Carrot. So first things first, I want to apologize for not getting up a video last month, or more recently than that. The last video I put up was probably about 2 months ago at this point. And I did have a video I wanted to do last month, especially because last month was our 1 year anniversary on Steam. Some of you may know we launched on Steam on June 6, 2020, so June 6, 2021 was our 1 year anniversary. And so we made sure to be a little festive, and we kind of made an event out of it and played with a bunch of players on D-Day. We had a 4 versus 4 there, and I recorded that, and I just wanted to cast it and put it up. But unfortunately, my computer started blue screen of death crashing immediately afterwards, so I was not able to cast, I was not able to record, nothing like that. So I'm happy to say it seems to be taken care of, and I'm back, and it's good to be back. And I just recorded a CarrotCast, so go check that out. That will be up at the exact same time as this video is up. And in the meantime, we also had some patches. We've been continuously working on the mod, patching, balancing, introducing new features. That's all very important stuff, but it's stuff we continue to do. There's a couple things recently in our most recent patch R054. Want to look at, here's in the patch notes here, a couple of really important changes that I want to point out in this most recent patch. First of all, as you can see here in the patch notes, so basically if one player has the incorrect name in their Steam name, instead of completely ruining the game before the game has even begun, now the launcher should actually be able to figure out who that person is that has the incorrect name and should be able to assign the correct company to them. Now, I think this system works if one person has the incorrect name. I don't know what happens if more than one person has the wrong name. Hopefully we don't have to find out, but so far this is just a huge step in the right direction towards making the game more newbie friendly. That way, if one person has the wrong name, or even if they just innocuously misspelt their name slightly and they just didn't catch it, they didn't notice the difference, this will save the day, and this will get a lot more games off the ground because of it. So that should be really awesome. Keep an eye out for that. Another thing is that we've had a couple of folk come over from OMG, and they've been super friendly. That's Operation Market Garden mod. And they've been super friendly and super helpful. So a big shout out to them, Storm Trout and Robbyman, who have been, very courteous. Robbyman even actually joined up on our Patreon, so thank you so much for that. And what they've helped us to is to take a feature, a beloved feature, I would say, from OMG, which is the HP and XP bars, which are visible in-game in tracking units XP and HP. And they've helped us implement that into Europe in Ruins. So you'll actually see that featured in the shoutcast I just released along with this video. So go check that out, and you'll actually see them in action, and I'll call them out. But essentially it tracks, if you select a unit, it tracks how much XP total that unit has. So you can see how much each unit has. You can see it update live as they gain experience. And you can see total experience. So if you have a highly veteran unit, you'll see the exact experience amount in-game. The HP shows you the unit's total HP currently and out of its total HP when it started. So basically HP out of total HP. And this is useful for infantry, if you want to know when to heal them up, if you want to get an idea maybe of how your troops are actually doing on a per model basis. And this is also good for vehicles if you want to figure out when to repair them, when the best time to pop that repair kit is. So this is actually hugely useful for that. Thank you so much to those guys. Thank you so much to Stormtrout for helping out with that. Another amazing, major, huge feature that Scott was able to implement with this patch as well is a sort of little in-game, in-launcher wiki. So you right-click on a unit in the company screen on the roster, and a statistical overview will kind of appear on the screen explaining some stats to you, giving you some statistics. Very, very useful stuff. So let me just demonstrate this here. Here you are on the company screen. M4A3 76mm Sherman. Right click on it and bam, this information comes up. Not only a more expanded view of its costs, but also it tells you its armor type, its hit points, its speed, in this case what crush type it has, if it can crush infantry in game, and the weapons that are associated with the unit. And you can see this updates for every single unit. So this is pretty amazing stuff. Remember, you can also get a lot of useful information on units from the unit list database tool. You can see right here, and that is also accessible from the unit details list from the Europe in Ruins homepage. So once again, go check that out. It's a very useful tool. And yeah, I mean, these are some pretty significant changes. They make the game better. They make the game more accessible. They give you more information, so you are more knowledgeable and more in control of your company than ever, for you to understand exactly what's going on, how things work, and figure out how to run your company. So that is pretty amazing in and of itself. Like I said, I do have a new cast up now, and I will also be putting up a anniversary cast for the 6th. So that game finally will be getting casted and will be going up. And then I will be figuring out what to do next. I might even do a Patreon exclusive cast, because I want our Patreons to feel loved. And I want them to know that they're appreciated. So if I make a cast for them every once in a while that is Patreon exclusive, I don't know, maybe they'll feel a little more love that way. So that's what's on my mind. Got a lot else that we're also working on. But speaking of the Patreon, let's talk about that, because that has been much more successful than I would have than any of us had ever guessed. And not only did it grow, from day one dramatically, but it's also continued to grow, which is the most amazing thing to me. And I just want to say from the bottom of our hearts, we are all really, we feel very blessed for this, and we want to thank you all for your support, and we want to make sure that we're doing right by you. So shout out to our newest patron who joined up at the major tier. That's Mistalin. So thank you for joining on us in here. And just a reminder that anyone who joins up at the major tier, that is a limited tier. We have a limited of 5 of those, and 3 of them have gone so far. And the reason we have them limited is because everyone who joins up at the major tier, they get their own personal customizable voice channel to hang out in Discord. And so not only do you get to, you can name the channel, you can customize the rules in it, you can do, you can do whatever you want for it within that channel. So that's just one more way of us being able to say thank you for your support. And update on the Patreon, though. As you can see, we've been doing pretty good. 17 patrons, and we're making over $100 a month, which is really amazing. So the whole point of this was to cover the Volskanazer's expenses so that he wouldn't have to be paying any money out of his pocket anymore. And really so that no one would have to pay money out of their pockets in order to keep Europe in Ruins going. And at this point, the Volscanator, I do believe he said he was paying $32 a month for the server we are currently on, which is dinky and it's not very powerful, but it is what it is, and it's keeping us going for now. It's served us pretty well all these years. So that cost us $32 a month. And so when we broke our most recent goal, which was $100 a month, that more than allowed us to, not just pay our bills every month, but actually be able to tuck a little bit of money away to save for an additional month's expense. So that way we can save for the future, and we can make sure that there's a little bit of cash there to keep Europe in Ruins going, even maybe after the Patreon is gone. So we want to think long-term like that. And once we get past this $100 point, I'm thinking about making maybe a $200 goal. And I feel that $200 goal is well within reach. It's, $60 away or something like that. And once we hit that point, I feel like there's a very fine dividing line there where we're not just able to pay our server bills and save a little bit for the future, but I feel like that's really the point where we can start putting money towards actual growth and development of the bod. whether that be, I don't know, buying some tools that we need to maybe do a better job, or software, or that could be, hiring someone, paying contractors or something like that to do something. That could be lots of marketing, because we could be promoting our videos, we could be promoting our pages, we could be hiring someone to do our social media. At that point, the possibilities really are endless. We could be getting a famous streamer, a big streamer. I'd really love to get AECO to look at Europe in Ruins if that were possible. And so that's all stuff that becomes within reach once we get just slightly beyond where we are now. And it's so within reach. And we're so grateful for everything that we do have so far. So like I said, the servers are costing Volsky about $32 a month, and we're going to be upgrading from there. Fortunately, we have a member of the community who's very familiar with such things, which is good because I have no idea how to do anything with servers. But Automed, he's been a long-time Europe and Ruins veteran, and he is helping us out with the server transfer. So he's looking into options and pricing and everything as of now. Everything's on the table. The place we're at now is just a small little dinky place. So there's a lot of possibilities of upgrading with just about anywhere else. So we got a lot of possibilities. We'll see everything that's out there. And Automed will, fortunately, be helping us along the way. So that's all very exciting. I think we covered just about everything. The one last thing I did want to touch on is... obviously, as everyone should be aware at this point, Company of Heroes 3 has been announced, and there was a pre-alpha playable test available to some people. So that exists, and that's out there. And as for the big, heavy conversation about, like, the future of Europe in Ruins, who knows? It's best not to worry about it too much. But what I will say, without getting too much into it, is that I think we can all agree that if Company of Heroes 3 is moddable the way Company of Heroes 1 was, we would very much love to see Europe in Ruins on Company of Heroes 3. And if Company of Heroes 3, very unfortunately, is not moddable, similar to Company of Heroes 2, I feel like, we'll be just here the same as we always been. And I feel... yeah, it's very much true of the rest of the Company of Heroes 1 modding community as well. They stuck it out through Company of Heroes 2, and they're going to be stubborn to the very end. So, very exciting stuff. I'm thinking about maybe even making a more in-depth video on it a little bit later, just talking about Company of Heroes 3. It's a very interesting subject. It's been so long since we've had a new Company of Heroes game, and... so that's all very interesting stuff to consider. And I think I'll talk about that more a little bit later. But for now, that was just a quick update from us on the mod. Thank you very much. Once again, thank you so much to our Patreon supporters. If you're not a supporter, you can be for as little as $3. Do you see this? You know how everyone says, oh, for less than the price of coffee a month, you can do the thing. Well, you can do it. You can support the Europe in Ruins for less than the price of coffee. So go ahead and do it. Thank you so much to everyone else out there who's already been a supporter. Love y'all, and I'll see you in the next one.